Hey everybody, this is Tony Hibbard with the Assistant Band Director, and I've got a new video for you today, and it's going through the processes that I use to pick literature. I know in my college experience, I didn't get the best avenues for picking this, but it was also on the brink of social media and internet and all that stuff. So here's what I do, and please feel free to add any comments into this because I am always looking for new ways to find literature because I absolutely love finding new literature and picking new literature. So this is the first one. I'm going to try to do a couple more videos of this week. The first one is just where to look. And then the next one, or however many I need to do, will be how to actually look at it and see if it actually works for you. So without further ado, here's part one, finding resources. All right, so really there's infinite resources. There's books, websites, state lists. You can ask fellow band directors. There's Facebook groups, and there's sample CDs and newsletters. This is kind of an outline of what I'm going to be doing throughout this video. So the first one is teaching music through performance. If you are not familiar with those books, those are absolutely amazing. They've got them for band. There's like 12 volumes or something for band. Beginning band, there's 2 different volumes. There's one for middle school band. The middle school band one also works well if you've got a smaller high school band, and jazz band. And then if you do orchestra, I believe they just came out with an orchestra book. They've got a choir book. So they've got a bunch of different books, and we'll look at that website here in just a minute. And really almost any teaching book, okay, any book that you had to get in college, any book that you're reading now, most of them have, some kind of recommended literature or whatever. Just know the date of the book can kind of limit your resources. If it's an older book, it's going to have older literature, obviously, so keep that in mind. And two books off the top of my head is the Habits of a Successful Band Director. Both the high school and middle school one both have recommended lists in it. And then Rehearsing the Band, the middle school version, I know there's recommended literature in the back of that. I cannot remember if there is recommended literature for the high school ones. But pretty much any of those style books, how to teach band or whatever, will have some kind of recommended literature in it. Next, we've got websites. JWPepper, I'll get into that here in a minute. YouTube, if you can't find a recording on JWPepper, the next place I look is YouTube. Institute for Composer Diversity. Right now, trying to diverse your library is very popular right now. So I'll show you how to work that website. And then individual composer pages, and then Band Director's Twice Taught list. We'll go over that here in just a minute too. And of course, there are many more websites that you can add to this. And if there's one that you know of, again, please add it in the comments. So first, let's look at JWPepper. See if I can do this without screwing everything up. All right. So we've got JWPepper. Okay. Let's say that you did a piece by, Randall Stanbridge is a very popular composer right now. So let's say you really like his music and you want to look at what you want to play. The departments over here, you can limit it to what genre. So we'll do concert band for all this. And then it gives you more ways to kind of slim this down. Because if you remember, before I hit concert band, there's 217 works. Okay, that's a lot of music, and he's a relatively new composer, so good for you, Mr. Standridge. So there's editor's choice, which is kind of the hot ones for each year. Basic library, those are the ones that have kind of stood the test of time. And then you've got all these different categories, but the one that I use the most is grade and difficulty. I teach middle school, so most of my music falls in the very easy, and medium easy. So let's say I'm looking for something for my beginning band. So obviously that's going to be in the very easy. Sometimes they even have beginning. Yep, here's beginning. So let's do beginning. And then you've got all these options here. Okay, and most of the newer stuff, it gives you a preview. Let's see, let's do Mechanical Monsters. That's a really popular one right now. So it'll give you, this might start, yeah, it's going to start playing. So it gives you a sample of it, so you can kind of go through and see what all instrumentation it does and everything. And I'll get more into that in my next video on deciding if it works for you or not. Okay, and then let's say you don't want to look for your beginning band anymore. You want to look for, maybe your top group, which for me is in the medium easy range. And you've got all these to pick from that are in the medium easy range. Okay, and again, all of the levels of difficulty, grade levels, and all that, it's all, I'm trying to think of the right word. It's all debatable. Okay, what may be a medium easy on JWPepper may be considered easy on your state list, or what may be easy on JWPepper may be, a grade 3 or 4 on your state list. So just know that all of those difficulties are all debatable. All right, so next we've got YouTube. I don't really have to go too much into that. A lot of the big publishing companies have started doing previews of the scores for the video, and the score will actually turn pages and stuff. So that's something else to look at. Institute for Composer Diversity. Okay, I came across this one a couple years ago, and composerdiversity.com, and I'll put a link to that at the bottom of or in the description. They've added choral works for this too. The last time I had checked this out, they didn't have that, or at least I didn't see it. I'm not really, choral stuff is not on my radar all the time. But let's say, you click on this button, and let's say you want a living composer. It's a woman, and you can go to different demographics here. So let's go East Asian and wind band. And you scroll down, you can actually even get more refined if you want, and you hit search. It gives you all of these composers, their pronouns, what city, what state or territory, country, and then links to their composer page. And you just kind of, whatever you're looking for, and you can go through and that's one way to diversify your library from a bunch of old white dead guys. All right, so next we've got individual composer pages. I'm not going to get too much into that, but that's another way to kind of look at what they have available. The band director's twice taught list. This is from the band directors group on Facebook, which we'll get to here in a minute. But I don't know, it's probably been 10, 15 years now. They came up with a twice taught list. If you've taught a piece of music twice, that kind of helps determine its validity and all that stuff. So it's kind of confusing to look at down here. So we've got the most common ones. So Air for Band, most common on 30 different twice taught lists, and these are all the band directors that are on this list. So, and this just keeps going down. Also has the grade level here. So this is another way to find what might work for your group. And then all these different tabs have something different. Let's see, I think the numbers are definitely grades. So yeah, here's the twice taught grade 6, twice taught grade 5, and goes all the way down. And then it goes to the individual band directors on here. So you can see, if you want to see what, this is the guy, I think his first name's Brian. He's the one that started the Facebook group, and here's all of his twice taught list. So there's another really good resource for you as far as websites are concerned. So state lists, each state should have their own list, and all lists are not created equal, and not all lists are accurate. For instance, I teach in Tennessee. Here's our list. And anytime there's a list like this, that's really long, ours we can do by grade, we can do it by composer. You can also do it by title. Obviously, I don't know what complete is. I guess that would be the same as everything else. But with lists like this, I'm on a Mac, so for me it's Command F, and then I think for Windows it might be Control F. But it'll pop up a little search tab down here, and you can do, let's see, Frank Erickson. And then it gives you all the different, this is actually doing it just by publisher. Well, maybe not. This goes through all of the music by, actually I know what I did wrong. I need to do it backwards. It takes all the text literally. So we do last name first and then first name. There we go, that's better. And this will just toggle through all of the pieces that's on our state list that's Frank Erickson. So, and when I say that not all state lists are accurate, let's see, I think it's fanfare and flourishes. That's not it. Anyways, there was one piece of music that was listed as a grade 2, but it was definitely not a grade 2 piece. It was much more difficult than that. And then Furioso by Robert W. Smith is a 3 in Tennessee. And anybody that's done that piece probably just widen their eyes or drop their jaw, because that is definitely not a grade 3 piece of music. So take all that with a grain of salt, because not all of these are accurate. Sorry, drinking my coffee. All right, so next, let's see. Fellow band directors. The whole reason I started this channel was because not all band directors have fellow band directors to go to. I'm very blessed in the county that I work in that there are 3 other middle school band directors and 2 high school band directors that I can bounce ideas off of at any given time. But I also understand that that's not always the case. So if you have that option, ask other band directors. If you don't, ask on social media, email them. If you have their phone number, call them. This helps because it really widens your circle of influence. I have reached out to a couple band directors really far away, and it helps make the world smaller. So yeah, sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. And don't be afraid to ask other band directors for help, because almost all band directors are willing to help. You just have to ask. I've never, turned anybody away who's asked me a question or tried to help with anything. We're all trying to help each other out. All right. And then next, on Facebook, there's all kinds of different groups. We've got, sorry, my phone's going off. We have the band directors group that I was explaining earlier. There's also a middle school band directors group. There's a beginning band engagement, which is like a beginning band directors group. Again, I'm in Tennessee, so we're divided into 3 sections. So the E is East Tennessee School Band and Orchestra Association, and then middle, and then we also have a West, and then everything all together is the Tennessee Bandmasters. And all of those have their own Facebook groups that you can ask for help with on that. And then the composer pages. There's a lot of composers that are on Facebook, and they are very down to earth and willing to answer questions. And I always do the obligatory new literature thing where I post, whatever music I bought that year. And if I'm friends with one of those composers, they always reach out and say thank you and, whatever. So that's another way to kind of get some help. And then samples. Publishers used to send out CDs, and then as I started writing this, I was like, I don't even know if that's a thing anymore, but it may be. The new way is kind of newsletters where, you'll get something from, Bellwin, our new music is out, whatever. So that's how you can kind of stay on top of the new music coming out. So really quick, before I go, so here's the band directors group. It's going to come up. Okay. Almost 30,000 members. So, and you can search what's on here. you know, there's all kinds of stuff on here. And with this group, you will get a lot of unsolicited advice. I think that's the most diplomatic way to say it. So know that you will have somebody that just completely goes off track or tries to take your post and hijack it. If I offend some people by saying that, whatever. Almost everybody knows that there are some dark sides to this group, and sometimes you don't get the advice that you want. You just have to move on. The middle school band directors group obviously is geared more towards middle school directors, 13.8 thousand members. And again, kind of the same thing with this. You might get some unsolicited advice, but still another good resource. And then beginning band engagement room, it's another one, 8.3 thousand members. So lots of different things on here that you can use to your advantage. So now going back to this, I believe I have finished. Yes. All right. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much. Again, if you have any other resources that I have not mentioned, again, I am always looking to find new ways to find music. And I know that this is still a lot of information in a lot of places, but I will kind of zero in on the next video on how to kind of narrow this down. But I'm trying to remember back to my college days. I don't remember anything like this ever being taught to me. It was just, here's some music that you might play. We did have the Teaching Music Through Performance Volume 1 going through that, which, this has a lot of the standards and staples and all that in it. And again, going to the table of contents. Actually, I don't think I actually did this earlier. The Teaching Music Through Performance was the books that I was talking about earlier. Here's the website. It's GA Music. I just did a Google search for Teaching Music Through Performance, and here's all of the books that they have. So they're up to 12 books in band. You can get all of them if you want. And all of these come with CD recordings, so you can hear what they sound like. We've got 2 beginning band books, a middle school book. There's marches. I don't think I mentioned that one earlier. Solos with wind band, accompaniment book. So there's just all kinds of stuff, and they have some special edition books and stuff coming out now. But if you, for example, the middle school band. Sorry if you can hear my dogs in the background; they're going crazy. So if you click on the book and then you scroll down to table of contents, it will actually tell you what's in this book. And of course, the first few chapters are just different cool things to go over. So I encourage all of you guys to order these and look into them. But it tells you what pieces of music are in this. So here's grades 1 through 1.5, and then 2 and 2.5, 3, 3.5, and then the middle school one also has marches. So we have grade 1 marches, grade 2, and grade 3 marches. So another, good starting point for this. What I was saying earlier is in college we had Beginning Band Volume 1, which has a lot of the standards. Going down to table of contents. Again, the first few chapters are all, different things written by different people. All right, so grade 2, and it's got all of these. And my first group, my high school group, could do a grade 2 piece, but my middle school groups could not do grade 2. So I was kind of at a complete loss for what to do that was below this grade 2. So that's kind of why I'm going into this. And if you knew all this, I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence, but I just want to show everybody all the different things that are out there. So again, if you've made it this far, I appreciate it. Please like and subscribe and let your friends know about this. And if there's anything that you want me to go over, please let me know and I will try to make a video of it. So if you are on summer break, enjoy your summer break. If you are one of the few that are still in school, bless you. Hopefully you can make it to the end of the year. All right, thanks guys. Have a good day.